All right, good morning. I'm Julie Lorenz, the Secretary of the Kansas Department of Transportation. We're excited to be in Ottawa today to announce the selection of 18 new transportation alternative projects for a total investment of $16.8 million across Kansas. These projects are funded with federal and local dollars. Our transportation alternative program addresses a variety of needs, from adding sidewalks and bike trails to restoring historic train depots to beautifying main streets. The types of projects that vary, but they all make the community better in some way. And I'd like to pause for just a moment and think about what I just said. Some of these are bike projects and trail projects. And that means that we are going to turn the corner. It's not going to be 6 degrees every single day. We are going to get outside. I had my sunglasses on when we drove down today. So we are going to turn the corner and get out of the deep freeze. You know, one of my favorite things about being the KDOT secretary is to get out and talk with Kansans about how transportation improvements can help support health, education, and economic goals for their communities. And today we celebrate federal, state, and local resources coming together to deliver more for Kansans in all of those areas. Partnerships are the cornerstone of our new IKE transportation program, and I'd like to begin by recognizing some of our partners that we have in attendance today. First, let's start with our host, Ottawa Mayor Sarah Kaler, and her daughters that I think have a 1-hour excused absence from school for a civics lesson. We're glad you're here. All of the city and county elected officials and staff, thank you. Rick and Diane Dietz, I know I saw you, there you are, whose donation helped make the Flint Hills Trail Project possible. You'll learn more about that great project in just a minute. And Representative Dave Baker, thank you for being here today and for your support of transportation. I'm grateful to also have the Kansas Wildlife and Park Secretary Brad Lovelace, who, in addition to his role as being a cabinet secretary, he's also a project winner today. And last, and certainly not least, I want to thank Governor Laura Kelly for being here today. Your support of all forms of transportation is essential for allowing us to continue to expand mobility options and generate economic growth for Kansans. I'd like to turn it over to you now to share more about what today's investments will mean for Kansas. Please welcome Governor Kelly.
Well, thank you all so much, and thank you, Secretary Lorenz. It is really great to be here in Ottawa today. This announcement is actually near and dear to my heart. I spent 18 years as the executive director of the Kansas Recreation and Park Association, and I often advocated at the state and federal level for more investments that make our communities better places to live and more attractive to businesses to relocate. The projects being awarded today will make it safer for children to walk or bike to school. They'll add sidewalks that will allow Kansans to walk, bike, or use a wheelchair to access essential services like grocery stores or healthcare clinics. They'll expand recreational opportunities for Kansans to encourage healthier lifestyles. And one project, which will be built near here, will improve access to the Prairie Spirit Trail State Park and the Flint Hills Trail State Park, two of our state's most developed and popular trails. The Kansas Department of Transportation and the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks have been working together to make improvements to the Flint Hills Trail that, once complete, will connect 6 counties from Harrington to Osawatomie and connect to the Prairie Spirit Trail here in Ottawa. For years, travelers on the Flint Hills Trail section just outside of Ottawa have been forced to detour over 2 miles because of an active railroad track and overgrown brush that made the trail impassable. Well, we heard their frustration, and today we're fixing that problem. More Kansans explored our state parks and our recreational trails last year than ever before, underscoring the importance of continued investment in these kinds of projects. There's no bigger champion of this project than Secretary Brad Lovelace. So I'll let him tell you more about the specifics in a minute, but I do want to speak about what this project represents. Removing the detour connects our communities. It opens the door for people across the nation to enjoy Kansas's natural beauty. It gives pedestrians, cyclists, and equestrians a better access to the historic Flint Hills Trail and experience all our state has to offer. And it will encourage economic development through increased tourism and enhancing the quality of life in this region. While the trail improvement is a shining example of what alternative projects can do, they are not just about trails and recreation. At their core, alternative projects add to our efforts to make Kansas the best place in the nation to work, to live, most particularly though, to raise a family. Today, we're announcing $13.5 million federal funds, matching that with $3.3 million in state and local, for a combined total of $16.8 million in transportation alternative projects statewide. With this investment, 6 communities, Columbus, Council Grove, Manhattan, Neodesha, Strong City, and Wabunsee, will be able to add to their safe routes to school networks. 5 communities, Baldwin City, Eudora, Lawrence, Lecompton, and Sterling, will be able to eliminate gaps in sidewalks that have made it difficult for people to access schools and other critical services on foot or by wheelchair. 5 communities, Junction City, Salina, Topeka, Pottawatomie County, and Wellington, will see improvements or extensions to their local walking and biking networks. And the state of Kansas will continue to see significant improvements to the Flint Hills Trail State Park. All told, 18 communities across the state will have increased mobility options because of this investment. This is truly a great day for Kansas. Before we move on, though, I want to thank Secretary Lorenz for her dedication to ensuring these alternative delivery projects could be completed. She was able to leverage her connections with our federal partners to bring these dollars to Kansas. Seeing a problem, working together, finding a solution, that's good government in action. And now, to tell you more about what today's announcement means for our state parks and the city of Ottawa, I'm going to turn it over to the Secretary of Wildlife and Parks, Brad Lovelace.
Thank you, Governor Kelly. This is indeed a great day for a lot of people, including us at Wildlife and Parks and certainly the city of Ottawa. We really appreciate the collaboration with Secretary Lorenz and KDOT. This has been a long relationship that's been very productive for the state of Kansas, and we appreciate it continuing today. This announcement for us means dealing with a real challenging issue on the west side of this town and connecting the downtown of Ottawa with the trail heading west. And it's an expensive, anytime you cross a railroad, it's a challenge. There's a lot of safety issues involved, and that means expense. And in this case, this funding will allow us to deal with that in a productive, safe way and to extend west. I know a lot of trail rides start right here in downtown Ottawa with the beautiful things you've done. I've been working with Sarah a long time before I was in this job and she was in her job to try to make Ottawa a better place. And it's really exciting what the city has done, the way they've responded. And this is just adding to that and recognizing the great things that you all have done in downtown Ottawa between the Prairie Spirit and the Flint Hills Trail. One thing I do have a concern though. Last fall we were in Osage City, and then later on we were in Osawatomie. Today we're in Ottawa. I'm worried we're running out of O's along the trail. So I think we're going to have to, Trent and Jeff, we're going to have to run the trail north to hit Ozaki and Osawatomie and Oskaloosa, I think, somehow. But anyway, we are happy with the way it's proceeding so far, and very enthused about the way that things are moving forward. One thing I appreciate Secretary Lorenz mentioned, Representative Baker, he's here with us today. He has been a stalwart, and I mean a stalwart supporter of this trail, and representing people way out of his district in the east and moving west, and a wonderful supporter for us. So we really appreciate that. This, of course, means a lot. Ottawa recognizes the economic benefits, but so do all these other towns. What we're seeing is, as the trail goes by, like it does where I'm at in Linden, we see towns reaching out, recognizing the economic benefits of these trails to them and the tourists that will come and want to spend money, want to stay overnight in their communities as they make their way along the trail. So it's very exciting. And sometimes you have to build it and then they come. And in this case, a lot of the towns might have started out skeptical, but they're warming up and now embracing it. So it's been a really beautiful transformation of attitudes as we move along this trail. The other benefit, of course, is if you're trying to improve value downtown to existing homes, it's hard to do that. It's hard to add green space into places that are already developed. You know, that's normally for new developments out in the suburbs. But what we find is this is hidden, unfound, newly discovered green space, right? What once may have been an eyesore or a place for people to throw trash now is a vibrant part of the community. Green space that's added right underneath our noses to add value to every one of those properties in that neighborhood. So everybody benefits from these trails, and most importantly, all of Kansas and all of the people that want to come and visit our great state benefit also to recognize the beauty that we have and importantly the people that we have that make Kansas what we are. So between our resources and our people, these trails are an incredibly valuable part. The announcement today is a real challenging link, frankly, a huge obstacle that we are able to tackle now and defeat with the help of this money. So I can't tell you how appreciative we are of this. We'll continue to work to extend this trail out beyond for the benefit of Kansas and all those that want to come and share our great state. So thank you again for this announcement, and I would turn it over to Secretary Lorenz.
Thank you, Secretary Lovelace. We're happy to be partners with you. Thank you. And we're very pleased about the Flint Hill project here in Ottawa. Before we wrap up, I'd like to share a little bit about another project that we're announcing today. It's in a community about 100 miles south of here, Neodesha. The project will add and restore sidewalks near 3 schools, North Lawn Elementary, Heller Elementary, and the junior senior high school. These are a continuation of the Safe Routes to School plan in that town. These projects will make it safer for kids to walk and bike to school and encourage more children to do so, which will help alleviate some of the traffic congestion that's been occurring at the drop-off and pickup lanes near the school. And that alone would be enough reason to do the project. But like Paul Harvey says, there's more to this story. First, to provide the local match required for this project, the city passed a 1% sales tax, half of which has to be used for streets and sidewalks. It's never easy to pass a tax increase, but it's especially impressive that a community of around 3,000 people made this commitment. But I'm not really surprised. During local consult efforts, Kansans from across communities, large and small, spoke about how important infrastructure was in their daily lives and for their long-term livelihoods. This project is a great example of how better infrastructure can support the long-term growth of a community. And the story gets even better. As the Neodesha Superintendent, Juanita Erickson, noted in her letter of support for the project, last year, a private donor funded free college tuition and mandatory fees for all qualifying graduates of Neodesha High School. It's called the Neodesha Promise Scholarship. And there were 33 recipients of this scholarship in 2020. What an amazing program, and credit to the people of that community. So it shouldn't be surprising that more people are looking to move there. As the superintendent noted, they've received many inquiries from families interested in moving to Neodesha to access that scholarship opportunity. So this project will not only improve the safety and walkability of the community, it will also improve the aesthetics of the town by replacing those crumbling sidewalks and making it a much more appealing place for future homeowners. Simply, this project and all of their spirit will help that town grow. They did the hard work to raise $18,000 to make the sidewalk improvements. We will provide the final $75,000 to help build upon all the local and private investments that are already underway. We're going to help get them across the finish line, because when we all work together, we can deliver so much more. So congratulations to Neodesha and all the communities that were awarded projects today. And thank you for the work you do to make your communities and in turn our state even better. As Governor Kelly, as you just said, the place that you want to stay and raise your families and make Kansas your forever home. So with that, if you have any questions, we're happy to take them.